Hi, welcome to the Good Horse Podcast. I'm Layla.
I'm Dolly, and today we have Rose. Rose, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, obviously my name is Rose. I was recently married, so my last name is changed to Brown, so I'm still getting used to that. So it is now Rose Brown. I am the CEO and founder of the Brave Pants Company, which is an equestrian apparel line. Started about 2.5, 3 years ago now. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, we love your pants and your shirts and your jackets. I actually have, I believe, two show shirts, and I love them. They're so pretty. Um, so actually, talking about the Brave Pants, what were some moments or experiences that kind of made you think about making a brand?
Um, I think I was talking online to some friends, and we
Mhm.
kind of always played with this term brave pants on our chat and stuff like that. Just put your brave pants on, you'll be fine. We just had that
Yeah,
play on words that it's kind of, I feel like it's quite well known over here, maybe in England as well. And so one day I was just like, I wonder if this is trademarked. And that's literally how it started. And I went on, I was like, how has nobody trademarked this name? It's so cool. Like
yeah.
somebody's got to have trademark this. And then I saw, and I was like, I'm just going to trademark it. You never know what can happen. And originally I was like thinking about doing performance apparel for athletes because I'm a PE teacher trained and I was an athletics coach. I actually still am an athletics coach. And so I was like, maybe I could do like an athletics line. And then the more I thought about it, like I only really ever used that term in horse riding. So I was like, I was teaching at a horse riding school that it's like an amazing school. The name is Notawa, and you can take your horse and also do all your schoolwork at the school. And so I
Mhm.
was a PE teacher there, but also got to have that horse side as well and connect with the girls on that level. And so yeah, that's kind of how it like started. And then
Mhm.
I was like, there's not a lot of brands out there that have thought about more than just like wearing the clothes. They haven't really thought about, like bigger ideas on how a brand could create a community and a way of thinking and a way of being. And so then I just like, it just kind of like spiraled into like so many things that I could connect with this word brave. And, like it just grew from there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so fun. I love it. It's like it's so unique. Yeah, I can't believe that it wasn't like already taken because it is so
I
cool.
know. Because when you think about
There's
it,
so
you're
many
like,
things.
yeah, you're like, man, this sport is exactly that. Like, some
Yeah,
days you've just got to trust the process, put your pants on, and get on with the job.
exactly.
So, what's the message behind your mission statement, and how would it like reflect on the products and the services you would offer?
Our biggest message is like our slogan that we use a lot is just be your kind of brave. And it's kind of like we want to inspire and change the culture where people just become a little bit more understanding of like everyone's doing what they can to the capacity that they know. And the mission statement is just, like brave to me is going out and doing 1 meter round. And it's the exact same bravery that it takes a rider to go out and do a 5 star because it's all based on evidence that you have about yourself of what you can do. And so
Hmm.
it's like just helping people understand that um, we're actually all the same, being the same amount of brave. It's just the
Yeah,
context is very different for everybody. And I think I really want to inspire people to be like just a bit more understanding and empathetic on, like people are just doing what they can do with the knowledge that they have, and that's all that they can do. And so I think those are like the bigger messages that we
yeah.
have with the company. It's just to grow a more empathetic and understanding and supportive, like we're all just
Mm-hmm.
trying our best, and
Yeah.
we're doing what we can with what we know. And I think
Mm-hmm.
the more we use that message, the more hopefully it'll grow our our people's perception on what knowledge is, and how knowledge should always be like a very malleable thing that grows and adapts to all situations and all different, horses. No horse is the same. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like our mission, is to create that community. Like, when you see somebody wearing a pair of brave pants, you know that they follow the same ethos, and so
Mm-hmm.
you immediately have that connection and understanding. And so hopefully, as we'll take over the world, and everyone will be like cooler and better
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
But
Yes,
we
exactly.
want to have that community, because it's so easy to make assumptions. We do it all the time, but I
Yeah,
just want to
exactly.
grow that empathy and understanding, and stop with having, because it's a huge barrier for some people going out and competing. I think we just need to,
Mm-hmm.
we're like, to start anything, you've just got to embrace being a little bit shit, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's just how
Yeah.
it goes. And
Yeah.
so we just want people to embrace that journey, and just be brave enough to go on it, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
very vulnerable to be like, actually, I'm pretty trash at this, and I need some help, and I need some knowledge, and knowledge is a thing that never ends. So we just want
Yeah.
to create that for our riders.
No,
Me
go
and
ahead.
Dolly were at the World Cup, and we were just walking around, and then we were like spotting Brave Pants jackets in the wild, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, is that a Brave Pants jacket?"
Yeah.
I love that. It's in the wild.
It's in the wild. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it's so nice to see clothing that actually have a meaning behind it. So it's not like, oh yeah, such a fancy clothing brand. No, this like actually has a meaning behind it when you wear it.
Yeah, and I think like there's just so much opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
um like change perceptions on
Yeah.
a lot of things, and just help people in like a less direct way, because I think the whole thing for me, coming from a PE background, was that when you think of an athlete, or even as a coach for athletics, an athlete is not just a physical being. There's so many more parts to well-being and performing well, and it's
Mm-hmm.
your emotional capacity to deal with and cope with and manage feelings, and also like your mental state, your social state. It all accumulates to an optimal performance, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I really wanted to try and like make sure the brand hit all of those
Mm-hmm.
elements, so that when you're writing it, you see it, you say it, you
Mm-hmm.
wear it, you hear it, and all of those affirmations, they just become part of what you say to yourself, and what you start to believe about yourself. And so that's just like slowly building the building blocks to a better performance. It's more than just what you're wearing, because imagine it's cool that you can wear that, but you can also be a part of something bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. And where do you envision Brave Pants going in the future?
I mean, I don't want to sound naive, but I just think from what I know, I really it's just started to take off a lot in the States, which is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Probably this last year, but even now we're getting into Poland and France and Germany, and I was always like, oh, there might be like a language barrier where they don't fully understand the concept of the idea. But it's like amazing that even a completely different language can like connect with the brand. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's no like, I never ever set limits, because I have like that belief that everything should be a malleable thing, and like a thought can go anywhere. So I
Mm-hmm.
never like try and put those boundaries on my thoughts to where things can go, but I just try and take, see the step in front of me and take it. So I mean, the big goal is just to create better communities, support our riders, and
Yeah.
just, embrace the journey.
That's wonderful.
So if you go back to thinking about your journey as a rider, what were some like pivotal moments in your riding career that helped shape the Brave Pants?
I actually had I had a really, really like horrific horse accident, not riding, where a horse was tied to a fence batten. When I was out in New Zealand, we have a lot of farms. We farm a lot of sheep, and we use on really steep hill country. We use horses because you can't get around on motorbikes and things like that. Anyway, horse had been tied to a batten, and we were up the top of a hill, and we were docking some sheep and making sure that they were clean and vaccinated. And I saw this horse like pulling back, so I ran down to the fence line and went to untie it, but it had been tied with like a rope. It wasn't like a rope, like a horse rope where it's quite smooth and easy to untie. And anyway, it reared it, so it was kind of like the fence, and then the horse was pulling back, so it was kind of like a 45-degree angle, and I kind of went into the angle. You look back and you think, why did I do that? Because I was young. And I just wanted to help the horse. Anyway, it ended up rearing and landing on top of me, and my back was onto the ground, and so I was on top of me, and I couldn't get out because it was like on my arms. And I just remember thinking, I'm gonna have to yell as loud as I can, as fast as I can. Otherwise, like when this horse gets up, I'm like dead, because it's one, it's panicking, and two, like it doesn't care about me at this point. And so I just remember thinking, like, if I yell really loud, it's going to freak the horse out, so it better be really, really, really loud so that somebody can actually help me. Because they were like 200 meters up the hill docking sheep, and they just thought I was just going to go and untie this horse. Anyway, so I ended up screaming at the top of my lungs, like, help! And I remember my partner at the time saying, I just like never want to hear somebody scream like that again. Anyway, the horse obviously freaked out, and at that point I can't remember anything. I got kicked in the head 5 times, broke all of my cheek, broke my arm, broke my leg, broke my back. It was just like, obviously lucky that I was knocked out, because I couldn't remember. Got a really unfortunate but lucky thing happened was they'd already prepped the chopper to go. So they called the chopper because there's nowhere, we're out the back of the farm. They prepped this chopper to go to a motorcycle accident, and the person had actually died at the scene. And so when they went to take off, they were like, don't worry about it. And then they got my call about me needing to go to hospital. And so the chopper was there in like 20 minutes. It's insane. And then, so that was like a huge event where I just like, it's when you have like a brain injury, it's just such a crazy recovery. And it's not like I was scared of horses, but because I got kicked in my face, or like, my depth perception was like warped, and my eyes was like, I couldn't see for like weeks because my, like it was just so horrific, swollen. Anyway, so it was just like one of those, I was always such a I had so much, when I was a kid, I was like very good at sport, and I was like just such an aggressive like sports person, knew my job, had so much physical ability, could perform really well in so many things, and I had this head injury, and I was like I never cried in a movie before, and I was just like just such a different person. Anyway, so it was like just one of those journeys where you're like, just changes, it just teaches you that you just have to embrace the things that come, because if you're trying to hold on to like who you used to be and how easy things were, then you're just never gonna, enjoy what could possibly come, up in your life, things like that. So that was just like a huge event that I think just taught me, like, it's literally the courage to continue that counts. Like, you just one day at a time, you've just got to, embrace the change and just try and use it to, you know, create something new or create something different. And so that's kind of, that's what that taught me, is just, you know, sometimes you can't see the whole staircase, but it's just really important to, if you can see that next step, just keep taking that step, you know, and hopefully eventually you'll look down and be like, oh, it's a whole mountain that I just climbed.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that was a really life impacting thing. Is there something that, how you want the Brave Pants to impact other riders' lives, or like not just like the Brave Pants themselves, but like the company?
Yeah, I think like the vision is always to just help develop point of view, and you know, like I said before, it's just all about like celebrating a journey and taking a journey. And
Yeah.
I think like one of the things that has really helped me this, you know, year is, I remember seeing this thing and it said like, not caring what people think is an extremely dangerous place to be. But it's not about, don't care what other people think. It's just like knowing when to care about what people think.
Yeah.
Like, because it's such a toxic thing to say to somebody, don't worry about what other people say, because like that's also important too. Because people,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, we're a society, we need to care about each other and we need to care about the community. But it's just knowing like when to care about what people are telling you. And I just want people to embrace the journey and know when to care about what people are saying. And yeah, the company seriously has helped me with just going out and enjoying my journey, rather than being like, oh, I'm not fit enough, or I'm not ready enough, and I want to be doing this level, but I'm not. And it's just like really taught me to be like, it's okay to hop on your horse and go for a walk down the road and get home and hop off. You know, like it's okay to go out and start at a level 1 test instead of starting at a level 2 or 3 test. You know, it's okay to go backwards and go forward. I mean, that's like, no journey is ever linear. So it's such a stupid expectation that we say that it has to go like this, because it never ever does. Yeah, so I just really hope that people you know, just learn to embrace that journey, and you know, it's the courage to continue that counts.
Exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. If you could offer advice to younger self based on your experiences as an entrepreneur and equestrian enthusiast, what would it be?
It would probably be like, I think when you're at school, like the currency of school is like your clothes, how smart you are, how sporty, like
Yeah.
honestly, like how good looking you are. And I think as you like grow up, you realize like none of that shit matters. Like it doesn't matter if you're good looking or academic, because at the end of the day, like if you are always giving up on stuff and you have no resilience, and you know, if you it just doesn't matter. Like the currency of life is like how much you can get back up and carry on. Like the currency of life is how much you are going to change and grow. Like how much you will accept about yourself that's bad and good. So I just think I would tell myself, like, there's just so much trivial stuff when you're growing up that actually doesn't matter. And the most important thing, regardless of your academic ability, regardless of how good you are at freaking sports, like it's your ability to want to grow and persist is like just so important to actually achieving anything in life. So that's what I would tell myself. Like, you know, don't worry about the small stuff. Just keep on keeping on. And you know, I've said this 700 million times in this interview, but it's literally just the courage to continue and just step up when you have to and carry on.
Yeah. And it's so nice to hear too, because like in life you feel like you have to meet everybody's expectations, and it's like, well, doesn't really matter to be this and be that. It's like whatever works best for you is the best thing.
So, are there any particular brands or like figures in the equestrian world that you look up to or take inspiration from?
I honestly, I don't even follow like one equestrian brand because I just feel like I really, really want it to be like an authentic representation of like me and what our brand is. But I do like, I do love like design. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of Nigel Xavier. He's like an insane patchwork. You need to look him up because he's just like his stuff is so rad. I think I saw on your guys' page there was this girl that you were interviewing that does like she has this like wicked cardi that she made, and I don't know what show you guys were at, but I was like I just love like that kind of style, and I wanted to shop at her store as soon as I saw your guys' interview with her. But I love, but I also like love that ultra like trendy like really innovative style, but I also love like traditional Fairfax and Favour. Like their coats are just
they're so pretty.
Yeah. And then I also love like designers for their story. Like Paul Smith is just this. He just started from nothing, and he's just like patience. You know, because I think for me, like I'm just like an insanely impatient person, and this process has really taught me that like nothing happens without so much slog. And and you know, just like sometimes you just have to be patient and just have a good day. And I just love that about Paul Smith. He's just like every day I wake up and I think I'm gonna have a good day today, and I'm like that is just, you know, because you can get so caught up in being like I need to be better, I need more of this, I need more of that, instead of just waking up and being like, it's okay to be patient and I can still have a good day, you know. And so I love I love his clothes, but I also just love his story. It's just so inspirational. So yeah, if you get the chance to check out those two, you'll be like this, pretty cool people.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah, we'll have to do our research afterwards. So could you share an unforgettable experience or destination that kind of highlights the Brave Pants?
I think for me, it would have been when I went over to. I had finished in the army. When I came out of school, I was kind of, you know, like I didn't really have a lot of self-confidence with what I could do academically, and I knew I was really good at sports and I was really strong, and so I was just like, maybe I'll just join the army and I'll, you know, do that until I know what I'm gonna do. And in fairness, like the army really taught me one, like if everyone in the world had this mindset, we'd be acing it. If everyone just woke up and your first thought was looking after your mate, and their first thought was looking after you, you would always feel appreciated, and you'd always feel cared for, and you'd always work harder than, you know, as a team collectively. You'd always just like work harder naturally. I love that philosophy that the army taught me, and it just taught me like you can just do so much. So many times I was like on these crazy pack marches, just been like, I just want an injury so I can go home, and my body just like never ever broke down, and it just like keep going. And I was like, man, you can just do so much with the body, you know. Like it really taught me that you can just do it. Like you just put your body through it, and it's pretty bloody resilient, the old body. But after that, after the army, I was kind of I left and went over to the United States to work on a ranch over in Wyoming. I would have been 24 or 25, I think. And I was like, man, I've always wanted to be a teacher. Like, I've always wanted to be a PE teacher. I don't know about any other type of teacher. I just knew that I was good at sports, and that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, I might as well just give it a crack and see if I'm smart enough. And if I'm not, well, you know, just have to go back to the army or something. I didn't really
Yeah.
have a plan after that, but yeah, if I'd not gone over to the States, I don't think I would have been like, you know what, like everyone has told me you need to be good at science, there's no jobs in PE, you can't, you know, like do a different degree because you'll never get a job in PE. And I was like, somebody has to get the freaking job, why can't it be me? And so I just thought, nah, I'm gonna do what I know that I love. And then I did it, and was the first person out of my master's degree to get a job in the exact discipline that I wanted. So it was just like, nah, I'm not going to listen. I love doing this. I might as well see where it takes me. At the end of the day, like, I've got enough self-confidence from the army to know that I can literally just do anything. Yeah, that's like, if it wasn't for that trip over in America, I don't think I would have come to that realization that, like, at the end of the day, is it so bad if I fail? Not really. It's like I'm still going to live. And I think that I'm still going to survive thing has come from the army, though. Like, we're still going to carry on, and I'll find other ways, because that's just what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Good on you, though. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, so from that, the PE and learning all about the body and performance, and then, you know, thinking about what ways can I, like, create something for people. And that's how the Brave Pants started. I was like, how can I help people, like, indirectly at a bigger scale as well? And then that's kind of like how it happened. And then now we're here, and I still teach athletics, but I've got no time to teach, which is you know, but if I hadn't had taught and, you know, known so much about the body and performance, then I also wouldn't have been able to, like, create this brand as well as I did. So I tell myself that, so it's not like a wasted master's degree.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's awesome. That's great.
Thanks.
So, how do you think the Brave Pants as the company has influenced your mindset on things?
Oh, it's just, like, hugely. I think I talked about it earlier. Just, you know, just having faith in the process, and not and weeding out, like, the judgment that I have on myself, and realizing, because I think when I traveled, one thing that I loved about traveling that I convinced myself is that nobody's going to remember me anyway. So I might as well go and do that karaoke, you know?
Yeah.
I just thought myself, like, who's going to remember this girl from New Zealand who's up on stage playing a guitar, having a sing-along? Like, probably 1% of the people in this bar are going to remember that. Not even that. And so I just kind of, like, got into this mindset of, like for me, this is what I used to tell my students, is like, I don't remember who came last in cross country when I was a kid. You know, like, I don't remember any of that stuff, because you only really remember the stuff that, like, traumatizes you or, like, has an impact on you. So you just immediately assume that, you know, I know I don't want to seem self-important, but you just immediately think that everyone else is, like, thinking the same thing. But actually, in, like, the grand scheme of life, you're like, who's actually going to remember this? Like, nobody's going to remember that I did level 2 this season and went back to level 1 last season. Like, in 10 years' time, like, who's going to care about that? Like, nobody.
Right.
And so that's just, like, it's just really reinforced that way of thinking for me, and being like, not that I shouldn't listen to people, but when should I be listening to people? And, you know, like, listening to people's opinions and stuff, and actually, where do the opinions come from? And I think, like, the whole brand just teaches you to be more reflective of, like, your thought patterns and why you believe what you believe, and your roadblocks, and, like, how do you make the next step. And it's been, like, just so awesome to, like, be a part of the you know, be a part of it and live it. And like, there's still so many things that I'm like, I need to work on that. Like, I'm definitely a type of person that says yes too much, overcommits, and then just has to pull pin. I just do it all the time, and that's my, like, next thing that I'm like, I need to sort out these boundaries so that I can, like, actually be there for people, and not be like, yeah, I can do it, and then have no system or process. So you know, and, like, I don't know if I would have been, like, explicitly happy to acknowledge all of these flaws, if it wasn't for my company,
Yeah.
that's just like, you just embrace it, and then the only way to
Mm-hmm.
improve it is just, create evidence that you can improve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's such a good mindset too. Talking about some pump up stuff, if you're like thinking about making a design, or you're just riding and you want something to pump you up, what would be your pump up song?
It was actually on my Instagram the other day, and I love it. It's not even the words, don't the word. If you listen to the words, it's probably irrelevant. But it's the song called "Good Kisser" by Lake Street Drive. You need to put it
Mm,
on your thing right now. It's so good. I also love Daydream. You probably would have heard of that one. By
I think so,
Lily
yeah.
Miola, I think. And I just love that Good Kisser. Man, it'll get you. It's such a good song. And I sing it really loud and badly, so anyone around, you are welcome.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows you're pumping up right
Man,
now.
it'll get you going. Yeah. You're like, actually, yeah, tell them the good stuff about me, not just the bad stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Those are my go-tos.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
Awesome to make it over to Canada and talk to you guys.
Yeah, that would be so fun. That'd be awesome. Tally ho!
Tally ho!